Hello, everyone. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a kind of old game, Black Ops 2. But the age of a game doesn't really matter in this show, so let's continue. Now, to boil it down, Black Ops 2 is a game with very light story and non-stop action. Every mission is compact with so much action that it's basically like playing through an action movie. The light story it gives, I found to be immersive, and I enjoyed the little references it had and backstory to your characters that pointed back to Black Ops 1. Now, when going through Black Ops 2, I didn't remember anything from the story because I hadn't played the campaign in years. So being able to go back through it after so many years with a fresh set of eyes because I didn't remember anything was a very nice experience. Now, I apologize for saying this so late, but I'm only going over the campaign part of this game. I won't be going over zombies or multiplayer. Maybe I'll think about that later, but we'll see. Now, every game is like a snapshot of the time it came from. So when I was playing through it, because I didn't remember anything about the campaign and I was coming through with fresh eyes, it felt like I was back in that time again, years ago when the game was made and when I got to play it. I remember sitting down with my brother, just fighting against comms and whatever in multiplayer. Sometimes my cousin would be there. It's interesting how nostalgic you get, especially with fresh eyes, going through something like that. Now, while going through the campaign, there are a few choices you get to make, and one of the specific ones that I remember is when you get to be in the perspective of the BBEG, also known as the Big Bad Evil Guy, for those of you not in the know. You get the choice whether or not to shoot someone in the leg or kill him, and I roleplayed it as what he would do, because this whole time in the campaign prior to this, he had been shooting in people in the leg so that they can live and suffer through what he did. Because the dead don't suffer, is one of the quotes that I believe he said. And just having those little choices drew me in and immersed me more. Now, there was only 3 or 4 of them, but it really made me feel like I was part of the story. Now, speaking of immersion, there is something that I didn't like. When going through the campaign, after every mission, you will be brought to a screen where it has the next mission on it and a loadout you can customize. Now, I would have preferred it if it just automatically went to the next mission, because in the long run, the game isn't difficult enough to warrant customized guns at the start of your mission, especially if you end up just running out of ammo and having to pick up an enemy's gun. It really doesn't matter. And when you have these pit stops in a high-octane action game that's non-stop, it kind of feels like a pop tire in a road trip. Say this, you're driving along on your road trip, seeing things that you hadn't seen because you're on a vacation, and suddenly you have a pop tire. Or suddenly there's traffic. Oh, there's a deer in the road and it won't leave. Just something that stops the flow. That's what these mission screens are like for me. Now, I understand why they put them there, because they wanted you to play their Strike Force missions, which were kind of a novelty in the game and were completely optional. I didn't do them. Most of the time, I would just end up starting the mission immediately. The customization of your weapons doesn't really matter in the end. So having these mission screens, for me personally, was kind of like if you were swimming in the pool enjoying yourself and someone grabbed you and took you out of the pool for a minute or two and you had to climb back in. It was kind of like timeout or something. But despite this immersion break after every mission, I still enjoyed the game. The game was still fun. And on the topic of fun, I could tell that it was made to just be fun. Because at the end of the game, all the way at the end of the credits, after them, there's a secret cutscene. One where a bunch of characters from the game come in to play in a band or watch it as spectators. Now, I can't play you this cutscene because it's copyrighted music, but I can show you a little bit of it without the music, of course. It really helped me have fun, and I really enjoyed it because of the song that they were playing. I happened to listen to that band quite a bit when I was younger. And it also reminded me that in this time period, games were just made for the experience of the player, made for fun. They weren't oversaturated with stuff that would make more money for the company. It wasn't about selling the game. It was about having fun with it. And I really saw that going back with fresh eyes. And that's something I really enjoyed, because in my current situation, I really needed something to distract me, something that was just purely fun and nothing else. And honestly, playing through this game again was very beneficial. And I'm glad I get the opportunity to talk about it with you guys. And just like all my unscripted opinions, I'm going to keep spoilers to a minimum, as always, because it's just my opinion. And I would want people to go and experience things for themselves. Because if I was going to sit here and spoil everything for you, even if it is an old game, it's like snatching the experience from you before you even got the chance to do so yourself. Life is all about experiences, and if you get those snatched from you, you don't feel as fulfilled. At least that's my outlook on it. So anyway, guys, I appreciate all of my listeners, and thank you all for listening, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye, guys.